2018 Porsche 911 GT3. You've no doubt heard of the iconic Porsche 911, a two-door sports car born in 1964 that, shrugging off 5 decades of design evolution, basically looks the same now as it did in 1964. These days, the 911, a car that in late 70s turbo guys routinely threatened to kill its drivers thanks to a lively and heavy rear end, has been tamed. It's now a stately grand touring machine that, for around $100,000, will do 100 miles per hour all day long while soothing you with classical music, plush seats and adaptive suspension. And then there's the 911 GT3, its wonderfully unruly cousin. This iteration of Porsche's legend amounts to a racing car with a hall pass to terrorize the streets of any town USA, capable of hitting 60 miles per hour in a neck-snapping 3.2 seconds and boasting a top speed of 197 miles per hour. Back after a 3-year hiatus and a bit of controversy when the 2014 version suffered engine recall issues, the new GT3 is priced at around $50,000 more than a standard 911 and offers more power and perks than its predecessor. It certainly looks the menacing part with its lower ride height. Scraping the front spoiler is almost guaranteed without the optional front axle lift system at $2,590, an airplane-worthy wing, larger and taller than last year's model so as to generate more downforce. But better yet, the GT3 sounds every bit like you made the wrong turn off the Mulsanne straight at Le Mans and somehow wound up in the drive-thru at Starbucks. Its flat 6-cylinder naturally aspirated engine, look no turbos, generates 500 horses that run free up to a staggering 9,000 revolutions per minute tachometer redline. Putting all this grunt to the rear wheels, which offer minute steering adjustments that improve cornering, is Porsche's 7-speed PDK automatic transmission. While those lickety split paddle shifts are lightning fast, one does miss in a car this analog the pleasure of shifting for yourself. Fortunately, an old-school 6-speed stick is available as a no-cost GT3 option, if you can even find these cars for sale. Lists are long at Porsche dealerships for this collector-worthy car, one that's bested perhaps only by its honest-to-goodness racing brother, the 911 GT3 RS. But that's a different automotive adventure. Attention must be paid. Needless to say, a car as potent as the GT3 skirts a fine line between being fun and downright dangerous. In a few days of hard driving on winding and often wet roads in bucolic West Marin County just north of San Francisco, our nicely if modestly equipped $147,910 Carrara white painted car, no carbon ceramic brakes for $9,210, no carbon full bucket seats at $5,200, did its best to showcase what a half-century of refining one product can produce. The car also scared the wits out of us on a few blind hairpin turns slick with damp leaves. Without proper heat in the Michelin rubber, the grip wasn't ideal, and the track-tuned suspension wasn't happy with potholes. But the end result was a James Bond-like thrill ride that left one both shaken and profoundly stirred. In fact, with a modicum of driving skill and common sense, an automobile like the 911 GT3 reminds you why you fell in love with cars and driving in the first place. It offers an undeniable and overpowering sense of presence and demands that attention be paid. Text and drive and you not only risk hurting someone and breaking the law, but you miss the truly seminal experience of wearing a machine cobbled together by passionate human beings whose main purpose isn't transportation but emotional salvation. Fire up your senses and you'll be able to hear precisely when the car wants to shift, and feel when the car needs a touch of brakes or throttle. This is to self-driving cars what the space shuttle is to a hot air balloon. Same general concept, different universe of experience. The GT3's exterior is all shark-like business, brimming with gaping, air-sucking portals that would look silly if they weren't absolutely critical to gluing this beast to the pavement at high speeds. Inside, minimalism rules. Lots of fake suede Alcantara, rigid if supportive seats and a decent stereo, though you should be fined for tuning into top 40 radio over the GT3's rock band in the rear. Speaking of, there's actually a button on the center console to amplify the exhaust, which is a bit like heading to a Metallica concert and finding out there's a switch to make Enter Sandman louder. This four-wheeled machine should have only one volume, raging. Buyer beware. The GT3 is not for everyone. If you truly want to hear music or a companion's voice, opt out. Ditto if you're not keen to cross every driveway at a 45-degree angle for fear of scraping delicate carbon fiber parts. The standard Porsche 911 is, somewhat comically, a family car, as it can fit small children in the back seats. Not so with the GT3, which doesn't offer rear seating. Nor is the GT3 a daily driver, as it's just too unruly to be a bragging rights steed you'd pop over to the office in. It is, however, a car for a daily pick-me-up, one that delivers a truly special thrill in an increasingly commoditized transportation world. Put another way, remember when you were young and a car stopped you dead in your tracks? That doesn't happen much today, an era of homogenized design motifs where noise, vibration and harshness has been deliberately bred out of automobiles. Engineers in fact promise we will soon be chauffeured around in driverless boxes staffed by baristas. The Porsche 911 GT3 says phooey to all that. It's here to shock you, seduce you and blow your mind. It's here so you don't forget why, short of flying, driving remains one of the modern era's visceral thrills. So turn on the engine, tune into its thunder, and drop the hammer.